Hello and welcome. It's very exciting to be here with you in our Peace Exchange studio at Rotary International Convention 2026 in Taipei. Very exciting today. We are having a conversation with supporters of the Rotary Peace Fellowship as well as Rotary Peace Fellows. So my name is Summer Lewis. I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow. I studied at the University of Queensland 2011-2012. We also have with us District Governor Chuck Udell, who's been a supporter of the Peace Fellowship Program for many years as the Peace Chair of District 5710. Additionally, I'm joined here by my sister, Katrina Lewis, who was a Rotary Peace Fellow at Chulalongkorn in 2012. Just let me say I was first, and then I suggested she apply. My sister is also from District 5710, which is in Kansas, and we really wanted to meet today with Chuck to talk about his work that he's done as a Peace Chair, work done that's so important in promoting the Peace Fellowship, looking for applicants, mentoring applicants, and supporting them after the fellowship. So we know you, Chuck, because we probably met after you were in your position as Peace Chair, but we've been in touch over the years.
We have.
We've also been involved in the selection process of Rotary Peace Fellows that District 5710 has conducted over the years. I was wondering if you could just share a little bit more with us about that process. What inspired you as a Rotarian to become a Peace Chair, someone who helps support candidates, and why do you do that?
Well, I'll tell you why we do that. That's the important thing. This is a we, because just like any other thing in Rotary, it takes more than one person. It's a team effort. And what inspires me, I'd like to start with what my friend, former past District Governor Kelly Atkinson taught me, and that was the hierarchy of peace. What that means is, first, people have to have water. Then once they get water, they need food. They need to be free of disease. They need to be educated. They then need to be able to sustain themselves and their family and business. And that, when those things happen, then you get sustainable peace. And one of the important things that Rotary is all about is sustainable peace. And it so happens, the 6 or 7 things I mentioned are all Rotary functional areas. So it's kind of a nice little package. The other thing that excites me about the process is over the years, and we're talking since about 2015 I've been involved with this, the candidates have been absolutely amazing. And besides Summer and Katrina, we have several more that are wonderful people, and they have done some really cool stuff afterwards.
So I believe, if I'm thinking correctly, District 5710 has had 7 Rotary Peace Fellows. So there have been Peace Chairs before you. I know my sister and I worked a lot with Bill Richter.
Yes. Bill is amazing.
Who continues to be involved despite having retired from that position, if you will.
He just sent me an email this morning. He's still into it.
So
or
Bill,
yesterday, whatever time it is.
So I'm sure you were inspired by him as well.
Actually, he was a source of inspiration, as well as Patty Millard. Patty preceded me.
Exactly.
And it couldn't have happened without the support of both of them.
So truthfully, if we look at District 5710, they're a model district for other Rotary districts to look at who can say, wow, you've had 7 Rotary Peace Fellows? That's amazing. What kind of advice might you give, Chuck, to other districts or folks in a district who say, well, I want to have more Peace Fellows from my district. How do I do that?
Well, I will tell you. First, it's all about having a team that is very passionate about recruiting, finding the very best candidates, and then nurturing them through the process. Each step of the process, the candidates need to be nurtured because it can be overwhelming to some that are not supportive of that. It's also critically important to reach out to the Rotary Peace staff in Evanston, because they are such a great source of information. Not only are they a source of information, but they're very good in telling you the do's and the don'ts, and which you can pass on to mentor your candidates. And Summer, you mentioned our good friend Bill Richter. Bill, over the years that I've been involved, continually works with the candidates, helps them in submitting their information, their materials, and so forth. So getting to know both the candidates and the support staff at RI is very important. And we're also, if I can continue,
Yes.
very fortunate that some of our supporters are at two of the major universities in Kansas. Yes, K-State, of course, but you know, KU has also had, there's two. And they've been a source of amazing candidates for Peace Fellowships. That's not to say that we haven't found candidates from other districts. I was sitting in my on my deck several years ago, and I get this call from Summer, and she says, "We have a peace candidate from outside the district. Are you okay with that?" I said, "Send her our way. We are." And that was Carla Jordan, who has turned out to be an amazing Peace Fellow with some of the work that she has done. So, yes, we definitely owe you, Summer, for introducing us to Carla.
So Carla, if you're watching this, we love you. But in all seriousness, it was really amazing to be on the other side of that sort of mentorship and support. Katrina, I want to ask you, I will take credit as your sister as being the person who encouraged you to apply for the Rotary Peace Fellowship.
And you are older, right?
Yes, I'm the oldest one.
Yeah. Sometimes the younger one's got to do it.
So I applied for the Peace Fellowship twice, so let me just slide that in there for anyone listening. Don't give up on the first time. It is a competitive fellowship.
If I can interrupt, it is highly competitive, which is another reason why the nurturing by the district peace team is so critical. And I believe, at least memory serves me correct, there are over 800 people worldwide that apply for about 150 positions. That's pretty tough odds. I mean, that is harder to get those odds to, get a Peace Fellowship than getting admitted to the University of Virginia.
True. I actually think it might be in the thousands in terms of applicants, and then the number of positions or the fellowships is about 150. And over the years, it's gotten more and more and more competitive.
But the good news is, too, is that we will have more positions available with India coming on stream. And is it true that we're going to have one also maybe in Latin America?
Latin America, they are looking at a Rotary Peace Center by 2030.
Good deal.
So it's very exciting. The center program is expanding. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up here is based on the fact that I knew about the Peace Fellowship, having applied for it twice. Bill Richter mentored me, encouraged me to apply a second time. So there's a point there. Rotarians, consider really encouraging candidates to apply. I began my fellowship at University of Queensland, and I told my sister a few months in, you have to apply for this fellowship. You're doing work with your students at Kansas State University, your students in architecture and product design related to peace and conflict resolution. And what was your response?
Oh, that doesn't, no, no, we don't do that. We're just, looking at social justice and how the environment impacts it. And so I was like, absolutely not.
Well, being her sister, I managed to twist her arm gently and nonviolently and convinced her the work you're doing, you're talking about issues related to equality, access to resources, access to space. These are all related to conflict and conflict resolution. And so tell me a little bit more. Once I finally twisted your arm enough to apply, you worked a bit with Bill Richter.
I worked a lot with Bill Richter. He really helped me to read through my essays and really sit down and talk about the importance of what I was dreaming of doing upon getting the certificate, making my application memorable. And so he spent a lot of time with me, which I really greatly appreciate. Thank you, Bill. And so the whole team really worked with me a couple times. So put some real valuable time and made me feel like it was important for me to apply. I think that's that human connection that we're all talking about today.
Exactly. And now my understanding is you've been working with Chuck and the district as part of the committee that each year seeks out candidates, mentors candidates, interviews candidates, and supports their application process. Could you share just a little bit more with us about that?
So every year our club, our local Manhattan club, and I think the district too, interviews the candidates or sits down and reads their application, talks to them, looks through the video, which is different now from when I was there. You have a video, a 2-minute video.
Yes.
And so it helps. I think that helps. That's something that we do voluntarily. It's not part of the process anymore, but it strengthens the application to really be able to, as a committee, be able to say, this is your strengths, this is how to refine it, this is where you're going, making concrete examples of what you want to do afterwards, after you, because Rotary really wants to hear the impact of putting all this money into an education, whether it's the master's or the certificate. And so I think it really strengthens and really helps. I know it helped me, so, and I enjoy it, because then you get to learn about what other people are doing and their concept of peace and how it relates to their professional and careers.
So it's really brilliant, because your district has also done a really good job of bringing in Peace Fellows. We also have a Peace Fellow here, Jennifer Montgomery from District 5710, but bringing in Peace Fellows to be involved in the process of searching for and mentoring candidates. I want to highlight that because in my time with Rotary, and having been very involved over many years, that's not always common. You don't always see districts engaging with Peace Fellows that have graduated from the program, or vice versa. Some Peace Fellows may not necessarily stay in touch as much. So I want to call that out and say that's also a unique aspect, and also just, potentially a piece of advice for other districts that may be looking for Peace Fellows.
And I'd like to add, because of that support from the committee when I went through, I decided to become a Rotarian. And so it's that full circle.
Yes.
Exactly.
Of receiving and then paying back, and this loop that you start to create.
And that is something we hope eventually all of our Peace Fellows become Rotarians. But that's not necessary. What is important, and I think you all alluded to that, is that yes, Rotary is, I shouldn't say Rotarians, through their support of the foundation, are making an investment in each Peace Fellow. And of course, like any good organization, yes, we are all about peace and welfare, but at the same time, we need to see a return on that investment. And why is that important? Because then we go out and talk to others and say, hey, you donate to our foundation, here's what does happen. It's not what will, it is what is happening. And, by the way, I have been really pleased to see what many of our Peace Fellow alums are doing. Summer, your work in Oaxaca has been amazing, and you still are, of course, tied in with Rotary. And you don't hesitate to recommend candidates. Thank you very much. Katrina, as a Rotarian, I can't say any more. You are certainly involved. Summer, you mentioned Jennifer Montgomery. Jennifer Montgomery has done amazing work as a Peace Fellow alum by starting a group called Magnetic Girls Initiative in Uganda, whose purpose is to take the women out of the horrors of trafficking and prostitution and give them a life, basically, and make them proud of who they are. That's critical. And I can't say enough about Carla Jordan. Not only is she continuing to promote peace and bring people together, but it is in a really dangerous part of the world, in Iraq. And she also spent time in Syria. So besides being so actively dedicated, she's a very courageous woman too, which we appreciate. So the other thing I do want to mention is, and this is again, you mentioned it, I'm going to mention it again because it is so important, and that is, if you try once and you don't get it, don't give up. Because like you said, Summer, you went twice, Carla went twice, Jennifer may have gone 3 times, I don't know. And goodness, for me as a district governor, I was turned down 3 times and finally it hit the right chord.
So persistence is the name of the game.
Gentle persistence. Because I don't want to give the impression that everyone we support is approved and is offered a Peace Fellowship. But I do think, like you mentioned, Summer, our track record is pretty good.
I would say so. And if I can just quickly add to that, having worked for a number of years with Rotary International, previously I was the Rotary Institute for Economics and Peace Partnership Coordinator, and now being involved with Rotary Peace Fellowship Alumni Association, and having been a Peace Fellow for quite a few years, I do have some connections with many of the 1,800 Rotary Peace Fellows out there in the world. The one thing that I can say that has been very true, though, is that the quality of applicants and the likelihood of an applicant being selected, I don't have official data on this, but I would say it directly correlates to the amount of support that they have been provided by Rotary clubs or a Rotary district. Now, we know now that the Rotary Peace Fellowship does not require a district or club endorsement like it used to. So that requirement has been removed. However, in talking to candidates, I always tell them, you still need to seek out a Rotary club, get to know a Rotary club, get to know the Rotarians, and have them support your candidacy because it makes you that much stronger of a candidate. So that's one thing I just wanted to add in. We've been lucky to have that, but not everybody that I know in the past who's applied or tried has had that kind of luck to have such a supportive district.
Yep. And can I add the other thing that I think has really helped us and also put us in, good conversation with RI staff is we will work with candidates from anywhere, any place, anytime they need a district support, because as you said, Summer, it may not be a requirement, but I believe it's absolutely critical.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have supported and recommended peace candidates from as far as Nigeria,
Wow.
in the Ukraine, which was amazing, and even from next door in the state of Missouri.
Exactly. And I think that's such an important component. You may end up getting a ton of requests after this interview goes live, Chuck, so be prepared.
Well, our peace chair now, Rebecca Gould of Katrina's Club in Manhattan, she's done also a bang-up job.
Yeah,
she's
she
been
is.
awesome.
Exactly. She's
and,
on top of it.
and I am sure she will welcome more.
So if you are interested, send us a message. We will figure out a way to get you connected. Doesn't matter where you are. So I think our time is wrapping up here, but I want to see if you all have some last comments, anything else you want to share that we haven't covered.
Katrina?
I'm just really appreciative of Rotary, Chuck, Bill, Rebecca, just the support and the that human connection that brings it all together. And so I know the Rotary Peace Fellow really changed my fellowship, really changed my life and my career trajectory. So awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will tell you too, during my governorship this year, it was absolutely critical that we recommend at least one. And happily, through the work that Rebecca and her team has done, we have supported and recommended a Peace Fellow from Manhattan.
Yes. Excellent.
And when I talked with her, she's pretty amazing. Here's the thing, the challenge that I want to send out. I want to challenge every Rotary district in the world that does not have a Peace Fellow team and does not recruit, support, mentor, and recommend Peace Fellow candidates to Rotary International to do so. That is a BHOG, but we're Rotarians and we can make it happen.
I totally agree.
And we'll make it happen.
And if we could add to that, there is support at Rotary that can help with that, correct?
Absolutely there is.
Is that the Rotary Peace Centers? Just get in touch with the Rotary Peace Centers to say, hey, I want to support candidates. How do I do this?
Well, also too is the Peace Fellow team at Rotary International. Mm-hmm. I've worked over my life with staff from many organizations, but I have never seen a staff so amazing as dedicated as the Rotary Peace Fellow team and other Rotary staff. They are our friends. They will do everything in our power to help us.
Yeah, I totally agree. Rotary Peace Centers, the Rotary Peace Fellowship support team is amazing. So I feel like we have given people a lot of advice, a lot of options. So we really hope that this conversation can help encourage districts and Rotarians, individual Rotarians, to support Peace Fellowship candidates through the whole process. You have one more thing to add?
I would encourage Rotarians to look out for potential future Rotary Peace Fellows and really encourage them to apply and start to mentorship. Sometimes it takes years for the time to open up in their professional career, but just to continue to remind and really encourage people to apply. So
to be persistent. Again.
Yes,
So,
And I wish I had it in there, but I really want to thank you for having us here.
oh, thank you. All right, well, thank you so much.
All righty,
you.
thanks very much.
Bye.
I hope we're okay. All right, bye-bye, y'all.